Yeah, then I guess I must start with my own beginning, because I didn't even know there was a club or skydiving here before I started. One evening we just passed along an information sign about info for a skydiving course. So then we went there, and then we saw the movie From Wings Came Flight, and boom, then we were hooked. Well, at that time we were still like the smallest club in Norway, or among the smallest clubs in Norway, and we had only a small Cessna 172, and obviously the clubhouse was the smallest barrack, just parked in the woods, and our landing area was like a cutout square in the woods, always with turbulence, and so that was kind of the conditions. But I do remember getting really fascinated by the older skydivers and how dedicated they were and passionate, and the way they could take the whole Easter off and just stay at the drop zone with their family in a camping, and then they went jumping. So I think they inspired me a lot. Yeah, the skydiving community was something also became very apparent for me early, because doing skydiving here in Voss, we have the runway taken off straight in a valley, so all the sound will give echoes and somehow bother all our villagers. And me also being engaged in a hardware store downtown, so all of these people are my customers as well. And I remember very early on that I became interested in trying to find a good reason why should they allow us to do this. And one of the first moments was that when I was looking at our members or the instructors, not many of them, 10, 15, but within that group there were lawyers, dentists, doctor, fairly high educated, but also some on the opposite that went all in and didn't have any money. But it didn't really matter who they were. It only mattered how dedicated they were to the sport. That was something I later found be true all over the place. We were just few people from that little Cessna, but it was really, nice. We went up for the weekend, and somebody were taking out the packing mats, and then somebody was making some coffee, and then you're sitting there with this load taking 3 jumpers at a time every hour or so. It's very chill. I would say the first 2 decades, it was more about finding ourselves and defining us as skydivers and the sport. And that's also when this professor started to do his research about our kind of people, kind of explaining who we are and why we are like this. And then this became something to pursue, because this was obviously true. Like you said, we have a lot of characters in the sport, ADHD, autistic, traumas, whatever. And it's almost like you can see a pattern of the highly educated and smart quality people. They kind of use skydiving as a supplement to their otherwise very rich life. And these are also very much the people you usually find on the system side. They prefer competition, athletics, rules, regulations, blah, 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 so on. And very often they use their common sense prevails over the sensation. So if it would not be smart to do this jump, even though it seems fun, they would not do it. On the other side, you have the people that use skydiving as a substitute for trauma, for whatever has happened in their life. It may be serious stuff, like you being raped or tragic death or something, or ADHD or some kind of diagnosis that keeps them problematic in a normal life situation. And then coming into skydiving, because it is such a strong experiences, it, like I told you, or it forces you into this moment, and whatever pain they have goes away in that moment. So therefore, it's like a medicine for them. And yeah, from then on, that became a major thing for me to study ourselves, to accept ourselves as who we are as a group and so on, and then we just need to accommodate to make this a good symbiosis. Let's say in the 70s, it was Voss, a little bit Bergen, and then in the 90s, it was still Voss, a little bit Bergen, but then for real around 2000, we really started to get much more people coming from the east of Norway. And I remember the first 10 years, when we made the first 10-year video after the first 10 years of Extreme Week, like every year we did something that had never been done in the world here in Voss, because of all these good people just playing together, and you need to find something to do. So these things kind of made me really pursue this and like having this personal object of just really be me in the years to come. That was kind of my purpose. I'm now finding myself and I just want to be who I am.